Hi, my name is Rabbi Michael Rovinsky. In a few days, we will be celebrating the holiday of Passover. And for this year's Passover message, I would like to share with you a letter that I came across approximately 4 years ago. I do not know who the author was, but I believe its message strikes to the heart of what it means to pass on the tradition and heritage of what it means to be a Jew to the next generation. It is entitled A Legacy Passed Along, a Passover Letter to My Child. My dear child, it is now a quiet moment late at night. After an exhausting day of Passover cleaning, you have sunk into the sweetest of sleeps, and I am sitting here with a pile of Haggadahs preparing for the Seder night. Somehow, the words never come out the way I want them to, and the Seder evening is always unpredictable. But so many thoughts and feelings are welling up in my mind, and I want to share them with you. These are the words I mean to say at the Seder. When you were a little child and for the first time saw me at the Seder table dressed in a kittel, the same plain white garment worn on Yom Kippur, your first question was, "Why are you dressed like that?" And I said, "Because it is Yom Kippur, a day of reckoning." You see that each of us has a double role. First and foremost, we are human beings, creatures created in the image of God. And on Yom Kippur, we are examined if indeed we are worthy of that title. But we are also components of the Jewish people, links in a chain that started over 3,000 years ago and will make it to the finish line at the end of times. It is a relay race where a torch is passed on through all the ages, and it is our charge to take it from the generation before and pass it on to the generation that comes. It is on Pesach night that we are being judged as to how well we have received our tradition and how well we are passing it along to the next generation. It is now 3,333 years since we received that freedom in Egypt. If we imagine the average age of having a child to be 25, there are 4 generations in each century. That means there is a total of 133 people stretching from our forefathers in Egypt to us today. 133 people had to pass on this heritage flawlessly with a devotion and single-mindedness that could not falter. Who were these 133 ancestors of mine? One was in a Nazi death camp. One was whipped unconscious by the Cossacks. One had children stolen by the Tsar, and one was the laughing stock of his enlightened brethren. One lived in a basement in Warsaw, with many days passing with no food. The other ran a stupendous mansion in France. One was burned at the stake for refusing to believe in a divinity of flesh and blood, and one was frozen to death in Siberia for continuing to believe in the divinity of the eternal God. One had been hounded by a mob for living in Europe rather than Palestine, and one was blown up by Palestinians for not living in Europe. One was a genius who could not enter medical school because he was not a Christian, and one was fed to the lions by the Romans. 132 fathers and mothers, each with their own story, each with their own test of faith, and each with one overriding and burning desire, that this legacy be passed on unscathed to me. And one request of me, that I pass this on to you, my dear children. What is this treasure that they have given their lives for? What is this precious packet that 133 generations have given up everything for? It is a great secret that man is capable of being a lot more than an intelligent primate. That the truth of an almighty God does not depend on public approval. And no matter how many people jeer at you, truth never changes. That the quality of life is not measured by goods, but by the good. That a penny that is not mine, no matter the temptation or rationalization. That family bonding is a lot more than birthday parties. It is a commitment of loyalty that does not buckle in a moment of craving or lust, and so much more. This is our precious secret, and it is our charge to live it and become a shining example to the world of what it means to live with God. 133 people have sat Seder night after Seder night, year after year, and with every fiber of their heart and soul have made sure that this treasure would become mine and yours. Doubters have risen. They are busy sifting the sands of the Sinai, trying to find some dried out bones as residues of my great-great-grandparents. They are looking in the wrong place. The residue is in the soul of every one of these 133 grandparents, whose entirety of life was wrapped up in the preservation of this memory and treasure. It is unthinkable that a message born with such fervor and intensity, against such challenges and odds, is the result of vague legend or the fantasy of an idle mind. I am the 134th person in this holy chain. At times, I doubt if I am passing it on well enough. I try hard, but it is hard not to quiver when you are on the shoulders of 133 people begging you not to disappoint them by toppling everyone with you, swaying in the wind. My dear children, may God grant us many long and happy years together. But one day, in the distant future, I will be dressed in a kittel again as they prepare my body for burial. Try to remember that this is the treasure that I have passed on to you, and then it will be your turn. You will be the 135th link with the sacred duty to pass on our legacy to number 136. May we all merit to be blessed with the wisdom to appreciate the beauty and richness of our heritage. And may we be blessed with the wisdom to pass on this beautiful heritage and legacy to our children and grandchildren, not just at the Seder table, but each and every day of our lives. May you have a wonderful and meaningful Passover. Chag Sameach.